Hey Dal, come on in. Welcome into this video. What I want to do right now is walk you through something that totally transformed the way that I approach my life as a female entrepreneur, right? All the stuff that goes on around my business. It's called the principle of the core four. And here's the thing, one of the biggest problems that I see with female entrepreneurs, and I've worked with a lot of women, right, in our business, over 250,000 women, female entrepreneurs have taken part in our free programs and 55,000 customers. So I've seen a lot, I've personally experienced a lot myself as a female entrepreneur, and one of the biggest problems I usually see is this fast track that we tend to take towards overwhelm and burnout, right? We get so distracted by there's so much stuff that's going on in our lives, and I get it, like stuff that's really important, a lot of it more important even than our business, right? The stuff that's going on with our family. Sometimes some of my female entrepreneurs have multiple businesses like I do, and then all the other personal and life commitments that we've got going on outside of that. Here's the thing. As a female entrepreneur, we need to, rather than just let life and business happen, we need to strategize and structure it so that we have clear priorities set. Okay, and we're going to do that right now together because it doesn't need to take long. We want to set these priorities and your core four correctly before we take another step forward. Here's the whole principle, right? The principle of the core four is essentially that as a female entrepreneur, as a human who isn't Superwoman, you can only essentially have 4 priorities at one time that you can devote your attention to. Consider it like burners on a stove, right? And so you can put the 4 pots on. If you've got another pot that you want to put on the stove, you've got to take one of the other ones off to put it on there, right? We've only got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We want to be doing a lot of that time sleeping and enjoying life, right? There's going to be things that we're going to need to put to the side or not give 110% of our attention to be able to leave space for things that are really important. So rather than get caught up in just straight into the doing, and we need to do this first to make sure that our business is one of the priorities that is one of those pots on the stove. I want to ask you right now, is your business in your core 4? Now, I'm not saying it has to be the top of your core 4. I'd actually really hope, I'd prefer it if it's not at the top of your core 4. But I want you to have a think right now and brainstorm what your core 4 things are, your core priorities, the core focuses that you want to dedicate your time and your life to for this season. So for me, in my life and business and how I operate as a female entrepreneur, my core 4 in order are: first, faith; second, health. I believe that if I'm not healthy, I'll serve no one. Third, family. And I'm talking there, not extended family, I'm talking husband, parents, siblings, nieces and nephews. I'm quite specific. So faith, health, family, and then business. Business is in my top 4, but it's certainly the last of my top 4 priorities because this will ensure that I'm able to give fair attention and I'm able to dedicate the time that's required to be able to grow my business, right? Alongside the other things that are my priorities. Now, you'll notice that there are a few things that aren't in that core 4. There's no travel, right? Which I don't actually mind so much right now. So the only reason I would travel is to see one of my top core 4s, so for business or for visiting close family members, right? There's no hobbies on there, so I wouldn't say I've got heaps of hobbies at the moment in this season. Their extended family isn't on there, right? So that means that sometimes I miss things that are happening, and there are no friends on there. I've got no friends. No, I'm joking. Well, they're not in my top 4, right? So I'm not saying that you can't have other priorities, but when you're making decisions and you're managing your schedule, they have to go after the core 4, right? The core 4 cannot be neglected. So there will be other priorities. There might be 3, 4, 5 other priorities on your list, but they sit below the core 4. So they're mine: faith, health, family, like immediate family, and business. Now, I want you to take a moment right now and figure out what are your core 4, and you can have other priorities below that, but we're definitely going to put them in order, right? So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then other priorities which will sit below. And I want you to visually write this out so that you can see that and make that commitment to yourself. Here's the thing. If business isn't one of your core 4, you're going to struggle to achieve the financial goals that you want to achieve. I have so many women that come to me who have so much going on in their plate and that have huge friendship networks and lots of travel commitments and really intense family commitments and all the stuff going on. And they're all worthy and they're all important, but we've got to be realistic. You're one woman. And so it does mean for this season, if you want your business to grow and to scale, if it's not on the stove, it's going to get cool, right? It's not going to get to the place that you want it to get to, and it's not going to receive the attention and love that it deserves. It should not be at the top of your core 4. But if it's not on the hot plate, you're not cooking with gas. Let's go with that. So now's your time to take a moment. I want to focus in. And the other thing that I want to recognize that when you're setting up what's going to be on your stove, what are the 4 pots that you're going to be putting on for your core 4, remember that this doesn't necessarily have to be a decision forever. It shouldn't be a decision forever. This is just for this season that you're in now, right? So business won't be in my core 4 forever at all. But right now it is. And for the next year or 2, it is. But in time, you might want to release that and let other people run that part of it and, bring in hobbies or bring in other parts of your life. Totally fine, right? It's just for a season. So what's your focus going to be for this season?